Yeah. It's a beautiful day to be alive, ain't it? Beautiful day to see the prophecy of the Most High fulfilling, being fulfilled, ain't it? Beautiful day. Step aside from all of the distractions, peeping the play of the enemy, and actually realizing that all is working out to the good of the Most High. That all is working according to the divine will of the Most High. It's a very blessed time to be alive, y'all. Very beautiful time to be alive in that all of us have been awakened, all of us who are waking up to the truth of not only who we are, but the relevancy and the reality of the word of the Most High is being brought to a place where we can finally see the truth and know the truth. We are moving away from belief, moving away from conjecture, we're moving away from rhetoric, and we're being brought into a place of true understanding, a place of true understanding, of overstanding. We're being brought into a place mentally and spiritually where each and every one of us are beginning to be blessed to put the pieces of the puzzle together for ourselves and being blessed to see just how far the enemy of the Most High, the enemy of the children of Israel would go, the lengths that they would take in order to protect their lives, the lengths that they would go in order to protect a narrative that they've created in order to place the world in a mental state and capacity where the majority of us would be under this deep illusion. Now, all of this is happening by the divine will and grace of the Most High. So this is why, as we are waking up to this, waking up to all of the deceit, waking up to all of the false narratives that have been constructed in order to keep us distracted, we should give thanks for that. And we should be able to say, wow, we really are the people of the book. Wow, God truly is real. Wow, I can really see this now. I couldn't see it before. And that's by the grace of the Most High alone, because I remember a point in my life when I didn't know what was going on and I didn't care about what was going on. And now I see what's going on. And is it of my own doing? Am I seeing what's going on because I done finally reached a mental capacity to be able to see, or do I see what's going on right now because now it's the time for me to wake up? You know, everything that we're going through right now ties in to prophecy being fulfilled. Every little thing. I know right now we're seeing a lot going on with Brother Kyrie. We're seeing a lot going on with this link, this URL that he posted up. I want to speak on it briefly and I want to tie it into scriptures, okay? Because what's going on right now, in a nutshell, Israelites all over the world. And our dear brother Kyrie is being used by the Most High, his platform, his reach is being used by the Most High in order to help wake the rest of our people up. And there's prophecy in regards to waking us up, you see. When we are finally awakened, the four corners of the world, and there's no doubt about who we are in this world, amongst the nations, the other nations of this world, of the people of this world, the time of the end will take place. It's right there on us. And so, what I need y'all to understand and understand and overstand is that we have a prophetic word right in front of us. And to be able to find the present time in that word is crucial at this juncture of our walks. I find it interesting that Kyrie is being canceled right now. The same thing that happened to Kanye is happening to Kyrie. I also find it interesting that both of their names start with K. Okay, I find that interesting but that might be of little relevance. What I find the most interesting, however, is that both of these brothers, in their own way, are helping to push for the truth. Okay? Both of these brothers are being attacked for sharing an opinion. And now, sports analysts, who ain't even historians, I don't even, you know, we can sit up here and say, oh, we don't know why ESPN and Sports Center is covering a historical narrative. These people aren't historians. These people are, for lack of a better term, entertainment monkeys, running up and down the court all day, running up and down the court all day, representing their slave master's name on the back of their jersey and a number, standing in the modern day auction block, getting bidded on in order to play for a new master. And now they've been hired as coons, as people, as gatekeepers, who, when one of the other brothers in the game go off and say something that handlers don't want them to say, these coon house Negroes get out there and they use their image in order to dispel or cause the rest of the people who are watching this to disregard the truth. So we see it clear as day. But one of the things that got me, that a few of the things that got me pertaining to this, the first and obvious thing is Brother Kyrie, he shared a URL link to a product that's listed on Amazon for sale. I could see if the link in the product was listed on a personal website of his. I could see if the link in the product was something that he invested in. I could even see if the link in the product was something that he was getting paid to promote. But as a young 30-year-old man who seeks to understand who he is and seeks to understand more about his history and his culture, he just shared the link. Now, we all see that, but it's more than the link. It's what the link speaks on. And the link speaks on the truth that we, as Hebrew people, have been placed into captivity across the four corners of the world and now have been relegated in the term Negro. When we each have a tribe, we each have a true traditional Hebrew name, which is befitting of our Hebrew culture and identity as Israelites. Okay? Now, this is something that you really need to understand, and why he's being chastised and why he's being canceled. He shared the link, that was it. And he shouldn't be apologizing for sharing a link. But he's being canceled right now. He's been suspended for 5 games without pay. And his deals, his endorsements are flying off the table. He had a new shoe from Nike that was supposed to be released soon, and Nike has pulled away from him and has decided not to release the shoe as a form of punishment to him. Okay? He was asked to pay $500,000 to the Anti Defamation League when they should be paying $500,000 to him. But the Anti Defamation League pulled out from that. They said that they no longer want the $500,000. And I think the Anti Defamation League knows the truth and is not willing to go through any countersuing or any legislative uh, pursuit in regards to this case. They were kind of brought into it because of their organizational stance. Okay. But the whole time this is happening, canceling Kyrie, Jeff Bezos, who owns Amazon, platform that is actually housing the product and the content and the material that Kyrie share. And none of the Anti-Defamation League, none of the Zionists, none of the so-called Jews are up in arms with Jeff Bezos about his place in selling and profiting off of this so-called anti-Semitic piece of content. Shaquille O'Neal got up there on his show and began to call Kyrie out of his name, all kind of idiots and this and sort of that thing. And it was recently revealed that when that documentary came out, Hebrews to Negroes, it was released on the East Coast. We all know that Shaq has many investments in business. He's an entrepreneur. What some of us didn't know, however, is that one of those investments is in a movie theater chain out there in New Jersey. I believe it's called Cineplex 12 or Cine 12 or something like that. Did you know when that movie documentary, Hebrews to Negroes, was released, that Shaq's, Shaquille O'Neal's movie theater chain picked up the documentary and played the documentary as a feature film in his theater in New Jersey? Did y'all know that? So, what we're talking about is a great form of misinformation, misdirection, and hypocrisy in regards to the truth pertaining to our people. The book of Second Maccabees tells us something very peculiar about the time that we're living in right now. Book of Second Maccabees, chapter 6, verse 3 through 6 reads, "Harsh and utterly grievous was the onslaught of evil, for the temple was filled with debauchery and reveling by the Gentiles, who dallied with prostitutes, had intercourse with women within the sacred precincts, and besides brought in things for sacrifice that were unfit. The altar was covered with abominable offerings that were forbidden by the laws. People could neither keep the Sabbath nor observe the festivals of their ancestors, nor so much as confess themselves to be Jews." You see what's happening right now? What's happening right now is that as we've begun to wake up as a people, our abilities to wake up is threatening to many individuals who have been living a lie and living the comfort of the lie. Our waking up is a threat to the world because once we wake up as a people, game over. All of the systems in this world will crumble. It's game over for the daughter of Babylon. It's game over for the Roman Catholic Church. It's game over for the United States of America and all of its territories. It's game over for the Zionists, for those who call themselves Jews but are of the synagogue of Satan. It's game over for them, do you see? And because they understand the truth about what's really going on, and because they understand that when we wake up as a people, it will be game over for them and they can no longer take our place on paper. They can no longer take our place in the minds of those who never did the due diligence regarding us. They will have to fall back. And more importantly, they are scared. They're afraid because when we wake up, the end of this kingdom will be at hand, and the kingdom of the Most High will be coming. Yahshua Mashiach will be on the return. And these people are very afraid of that. They're very afraid that once the truth is spread to the four corners of the world, all of their systems will be destroyed. Let's go into the book of Luke so that we can discuss that, so that y'all see exactly what your brother True Jew was talking about. Luke chapter 21. Luke chapter 21, verse 22 down reads, "For these be the days of vengeance, all things are written may be fulfilled." What's going on right now has to take place. What's going on is that all of our people who have these platforms, who've been given reach to many, many millions of people, are now, their hearts are being stirred up. Consciousness is being stirred up. They themselves are being led to a place where they can learn the truth about their own history, about our history, and they're being given the zeal. They're being given the zeal to present this truth to the world. And a lot of times when we're new to the truth, that zeal is so strong that we just got to share whatever it is we know. So it's difficult when we share whatever it is we know because you have people who have been trained to keep the lie alive. And those people who have been trained to keep the lie alive are the very ones who are placed in front of us to defend the lie. Those are the very same people who are interviewing folks like Kyrie and Kanye. Those are the very same people who get paid to get in front of the camera during news segments and speak lies pertaining to us to help keep the deaf, dumb, and blind deaf, dumb, and blind. Okay? And when you're new to this truth, especially as a Hebrew Israelite man or woman, you will have the zeal to want to share what it is you know because you've gone so long and we have gone so long as a people without knowing who we truly are. So that now, when we come into the truth of who we actually are, it's an exciting time. You would think that we would be celebrated for finally knowing who we are, for finding out the truth about ourselves, for being able to be alive this long, to finally make some sense of everything that we've gone through up until this point. But then you're going to realize that the world has been profiting off of you and I. The world has been profiting off of our people's mental demise and spiritual demise. The world has been profiting off of us being at the bottom of the ladder, the bottom of the totem pole, the bottom in society. So that now, when we are getting stirred up, Judah is like a young lion. Who shall rouse him up? Now we are being roused up. Now we are being awakened to the truth of who we are. And this is the greatest threat that the earth and the peoples, the nations of the earth have to deal with right now. It's the precursor threat to their kingdom being destroyed forever. But there's still work that has to be done, and I'm going to touch on that in a few minutes. But Luke chapter 21, verse 22 tells us, "For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. For there shall be great distress in the land and wrath upon this people. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles, until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled." The times of the Gentiles is being fulfilled right now. The times of the Gentiles has been fulfilled and is almost completed. Do you see? I would say it is complete, as a matter of fact, because of what we're seeing right now. Jerusalem has been trodden down. Jerusalem began its trod down, or began to be trodden down in 70 AD under Vespasian, the Roman general who came in and destroyed the temples and destroyed the holy places of our people and caused us to flee further into the interiors of Africa. Okay? This is very important. See, when you understand your history, and I'm talking about your history, your story, everything that's going on right now will make more sense. And what I'm saying has been proven in multiple books, historical books. What I'm saying is not my own words. What I'm saying is a matter of fact. Okay? And so this is very important to realize too. Your brother True Jew is not coming up here serving no conjecture and rhetoric. That's not my place in the land. My place is to be another light to our people in order to help wake us up, in order to help rouse us up, stir us up, get us back on the right path. Now, what we're realizing today more than ever is that we are all of us are being wakened up and called. And all of us are either answering the call, all of us are either not answering the call. But all of us being knocked, the consciousness, our spirit is being awakened. Now, whether we act on it or not is something that we'll have to deal with on the day of judgment. But what I'm saying is that individuals like Kanye and Kyrie, who are world renowned people of our cloth, of our ilk, our blood, are waking up and being brought into the truth, even if they don't understand what they're saying all the way. And this is how we know that the Most High is doing a great work right now. But this is why it's also important to do the due diligence, not just make a couple statements, not just say a couple things that resonate with you, because there are people in place who know our truth and who also know the lie pertaining to our truth in order to try to keep that lie alive. And this is where all your newscasters, this is where all your sports analysts, and this is where all of the reporters come in who are chastising these individuals like Kanye and Kyrie, who get up there and speak the truth, but are speaking it from a zealous perspective, an excited perspective, and haven't given their lives to the truth so that they can understand the different nuances of the enemy. If brothers like myself were to be interviewed, okay, Hebrew Israelite men who have been in this truth for multiple years, decades, we would chew up and spit out all of the rhetoric that our people are being presented with in these interviews, in the media, in the rebuttals that the different reporters are trying to serve to our people. That's keeping them their zips lit because they don't know how to respond to these things. Okay, they don't know how to properly speak, calling us Jewish people and this and that. Where if they use a term like Jewish, well then the lay person who doesn't know anything about this yet, will automatically assume that Kyrie and Kanye, in reference to us as the true Israelite people being Jewish, they will think that we're trying to be like the Ashkenazi Jewish people. Okay? And that's not who we are. We are the real Yahudim. We are the real Yahudi. We are the real Israelites, Yashraelites. We are the real Israelites. Okay? So, in order to understand that, we have to do more due diligence. We have to do more due diligence. Luke chapter 21, verse 24 tells us that we will be led captive into all nations. Okay? That Jerusalem shall be downtrodden by the Gentiles. That's exactly what happened. And now the Gentiles live within the Holy Land, live within our borders. The Gentiles have taken over and commandeered our placement. And the Gentiles have taken over and commandeered our name. The Gentiles have attempted to commandeer and take over our image, whitewashing and hiding our images and keeping the truth suppressed so that we think they are us. But the whole time, they have two identities while we have none because they have taken our identity, you see. They are Ashkenazi people from South and Central Europe. Okay? These people, 23andMe, just released a new article on October 7th, 2022 of this year in regards to the Ashkenazi people. And all throughout that article, they even have the nerve to quote Genesis chapter 10, verses 1 through 4 in the article detailing where the Ashkenazi people come from and who they are of the line of. The line of Japheth, of the true Gentiles. But 23andMe did not speak that part. Okay? They did not speak on the fact that they are the true Gentiles to actually speak on it. They just referenced it to give all of us the opportunity to look and read in between the lines. Okay? But they said in that article, yes, we just want to help the Ashkenazi people identify their families, their bloodlines that are still in Central and South Europe today. Ah, wow. So now you even have DNA companies who are telling the truth. But in order to get access to those articles, of course, one would have to be tapped in with the DNA company, okay, in order to see that. And I thank y'all. Hello. Shabbat Shalom to everybody joining us today. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom to everybody joining us today. We're going to get deep real quick because we need to be confirmed. We don't want to sit up here and just be carrying and hoarding this information. Okay. In my advice, we should be praying for windows of opportunity to go into all of our people. It's insane how that works. Identities, just to say they are Jewish, not European. Yes, they have two identities: European, Ashkenazi, and us. Okay, while we don't have any identity that's founded in an actual land. Okay, a land that we can go back to. I'm only saying that on the surface because as we wake up to the truth of who we are, we do have a land to go back to. There's more though. Why are they afraid of us waking up? Because when we wake up, the time of the Gentiles will truly be fulfilled. What happens after the time of the Gentiles being fulfilled that is scaring the Gentile nations of the world who know the truth? Well, you have to remember that most of the Gentile nations of the world are in league with Satan. They have an agenda. And as long as we are blind, their agenda can continue to move forward. Their agenda can continue to grow and increase. But the days that we wake up as children of Israel means that their agenda is no longer. Their agenda will not be relevant any longer. And we will wake up to our true inheritance. And when we wake up to our true inheritance, let me read to you what will happen. Until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Chapter 21, verse 25 goes on to read, and there shall be signs in the sun. Have y'all noticed that the sun is flickering? Have y'all been seeing the reports of people taking their cameras out and filming the sun? Have y'all been realizing that the sun has gone from a orangish color when we were children, a reddish orange, to a yellow, and now the sun is white. The sun is so bright it looks white. Have y'all noticed that? And as the sun has changed, look at the sunlight on me right now. Look how bright this is. It's blinding. It's blinding, isn't it? It's blinding. The sun has gone to white. And as it's gone to white, what has it been doing? It's been heating up. It's like a red hot coal. Have you ever seen put anything in the fire, metal, and kept it in a firing furnace for so hot long that it turns white? It's glowing. That's how hot it is. That's what's happening right now. The Most High told us that it would be the fire next time. And that's exactly what we're seeing. We're seeing the sun heat up so much that it is melting. It is melting. The coldest places on the earth right now. And even in Kenya, even in places with high, tall mountains, where ice is on these mountains at the very peaks of the mountains, the ice water is melting all over the world. So there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. When these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads. Your redemption draweth nigh, draweth near. Our redemption is almost here. Children of Israel, scattered to the four corners of the world. Our redemption is so close that it's not even funny. Our redemption is so close that it's not even funny. How long shall they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? Ooh, some say that's just a part of it. You've got to fulfill the book. That's that redemption song. The book is being fulfilled right before our eyes, family. But we're not done yet. We're moving into a time. That's right, Bob Marley. We're moving into a time right now. Zechariah chapter 8, verse 23. Thus saith the Most High of hosts, in those days it shall come to pass that 10 men shall take hold out of all languages of the nations, even shall take hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew. That means who is a true Yahudim. That means the man who is a true Judite, a true son of Judah. Okay, I need y'all to hear me. 10 men of the nations of the Gentiles will seek to take hold on the garment of one man of Judah, saying, we will go with you. We have heard that God is with you. Because in the time of the great calamity that is falling upon the nations right now, falling upon the world, the people who know the truth, the people of the other nations who know that Kyrie is telling the truth, are going to be inquisitive. The people of the world who know that Kanye is telling the truth are being inquisitive right now, and they want to know what's really going on. For instance, started a profile and account on this app called Wisdom app. That's where I also do my teaching. There are a lot of Gentiles on that app. My handle and my bio, the first thing that they see is Israelite by blood. Then I say I'm true Jew. And I briefly discuss who I am in my bio. But the very first thing that I say is Israelite by blood. My bio on Wisdom app is similar to my bio on this YouTube channel. Okay? Now, what's very important about that is they saw that app. I mean, they saw my account on that app before all of this madness with Kanye, before all of this madness with our brother Kyrie. I think I did that. I started my account. The Most High led me to that platform, I want to say 4 or 5 days before Kanye got up there on Drink Champs and said what he said to begin canceled. And I definitely said it before this episode with Kyrie. So all of these people are on that app, and they're seeing me. They're seeing my profile picture. They're hearing my voice. They're hearing my lessons that I'm speaking on, pertaining to us being the true children of Israel, so-called African Americans. Peace and blessings, Brother King Abraham. And all of this is taking place before this uprising against our people, before this cancel culture is taking place. And wouldn't you have it that now people are being inquisitive? People are wondering the truth. Gentile people, not a single one. Ashkenazi Jewish people are listening in to me. Zionists are listening in to me. Our people are listening in to me especially. And this isn't because of me. This is all the work of the Most High. It's divine timing, divine will that is being pushed into all of the world right now by the Most High. This is why we know we are in the time of the end. This is why we know the day is coming. We are going to see an upcharge, an increase in all of the energy. We're going to see more cancel culture, quote unquote. We're going to see more celebrities stand up for the truth. And we're going to see more people standing against our people in order to suppress the truth. Okay? But this is all prophesied. this is going to happen is we're going to see an increase in Jacob's trouble. Jacob's trouble is prophesied in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30. Jacob's trouble is a time when the men of Israel, especially, are going to go through tumultuous times. We're going to be tried, we're going to be punished for the truth. Just like we read in the book of Second Maccabees, chapter 6, verses 6, people could neither keep the Sabbath nor observe the festivals of their ancestors, nor so much as confess themselves to be Jews. We are living in a time where the true Israelites confess themselves to be Jews. It is a great problem. It is such a problem. A young brother like Kyrie shares a link and makes a URL link, which he has no financial inclinations to. And he makes that link available to people of all walks of life. He will be chastised because of his reach to those people. In the meanwhile, there's so much content on the platform of Amazon. There's so many different books to be profited off of. There's so much different information that can be profited off. That as long as that information is suppressed and it is not promoted, Amazon can profit off of it. See, the Gentiles of the world have been given the opportunity to profit off of the children of Israel, while we ourselves cannot profit off of it. As a matter of fact, we are not even allowed to profit off of the information of that information. Yes, I said that correctly. We are not even allowed to profit off of knowing that information exists so that we can learn from that information in order to wake us up. This is how important our awakening is to the rest of the world. This is how important the suppression of our identity is to the rest of the world. We mustn't know who we are according to the rest of the world. We mustn't know that we are the true Israelite people. But guess what? Every time they cancel one of our brothers, every time they cancel one of our sisters for telling the truth, guess what happens? It sparks interest in that thing. It makes people who are awake, it makes people who are on the fence question, why are we not still focused on basketball? Why are sports analysts speaking against Kyrie as if they are world renowned historians? Yes, they are working overtime. Oh, I thank you for that. They are working overtime to make sure we don't know who we are. That's correct. Now you have basketball playing people, football playing people getting up there and acting as if they're historians, that they have degrees and doctrines or doctorates in these fields of studies, acting like they have applied their whole life to what the Bible and to what other historical and archaeological evidence that has been presented to us has to say. Oh, yeah, we in the time, all right. But the nations of the world, 10 men shall take hold out of the nations of the world, out of all languages of the nations, even shall take hold of the skirt of him that is a true Jew. Now, once again, what is the origin of the term Jew? Jew is a short form of Yehudi, Yehudim, Yahuda, or Judah. Okay? Jew is a short form of Yahudi, which means people of Judah. These people were an African, Edenic, Shemitic people. This designation was originally derived from Judah, the name of the southern kingdom, which was again used of this territory in the Babylonian and Persian empires. The term became common only after the exile in 286 BC, referring both to inhabitants of the area and to any person who was Hebrew by birth. The word Jew is ultimately derived from the tribe of Judah. The Hebrew Yehudim originally meant descendants of the tribe of Judah, and then those who inhabited the territories claimed by them. With the deportation and subsequent assimilation of the 10 lost tribes of the northern kingdom by the Assyrians after 722 BC, the only Israelites to survive into the exilic period, with a few from the tribe of Benjamin, were those from Judah, hence the name Jew. Nowhere in that description of the word Judah, Yehudim, Yehudi, children of Judah, children of, who else do we have? Descendants of the tribe of Judah, do you see Ashkenazi people? And nowhere do you see the word Jewish. Jewish is a new construct propagated in the year 1948 when the Israeli state was created by Britain and the United States in conjunction with the Southern and Eastern European Ashkenazi people who migrated into our original lands of Northeast Africa. This is very important. Let's go into the book of Amos. Amos chapter 3, verse 3. Can two walk together except they be agreed? Can two walk together except they be agreed? No. A house divided among itself is easily destroyed. This is why what you're seeing right now on both sides of the fence is so very important to take note of. You have the side of the truth. This is not new information. To those of you who are just now coming into this conversation, to those of you who are just now being stirred and awakened, our identity has been known by the Europeans since the 15th century, since the 14th century and before, actually. Our identity has long been known. Okay? When our people were in the places of Spain and France, in Britain, in Rome, in all of these places where we resided outside of the continent of Africa, we were known. And during the years of 1492, during the years of 1490, 1490s, towards the end of the 1480s into the 1490s, when the Great Inquisition took place, that is when the majority of our people who were living in Europe at the time were expelled from Europe and pushed back down into Africa. Okay? We still had many of our people rolling and wandering throughout Africa. Okay? This is very important. I have a map right now, which was published from a book in 1930. Let me make sure it's the right book I'm thinking about before I speak on it. Yes, by a man named Allen Howard Godby, who was born in the 1800s, who was a theologian of the Old Testament, and was the leading theological professor at Duke University. He was struck down by a truck leaving a United Methodist meeting in 19, let me get this right, somewhere, I believe around the 1940s. Y'all could look it up. At 80 something years old. And as he was crossing the street, he was hit by a truck as he was leaving this Methodist conference, teaching about the true Jews, about the true Israelite people. And this was a so called white man. Even at that time, the truth was beginning to be suppressed because our people were leaving the plantations. Our people were now able to read books. Our people were now able to increase our libraries and to invest in literature that had recently been removed from us. And this man, Allen Howard Godby, look him up, dedicated his life to the truth of our people. And in one of his books, I forget the exact name of it. I'll put a link up to it though, because you can get this book on the Internet Archive as a PDF. This man has a map of the entire Africa, which details every place that he was able to identify as where we were as Israelite people all over the continent of Africa. Okay? especially in those places of West Africa where we were gathered up. You also have a man by the name of John Quigley. John Quigley. He did the America. He did the American book in the 1600s. And he also did America and its interiors and all its lands and customs. And he also did one for Africa, the entire continent. And his book on Africa has multiple sections regarding the children of Israel being spread throughout the interior of Africa after 70 AD. And this book has been suppressed by the powers that be. If you go and look for the book by Alan Howard Godby that I'm referencing, and you want to go look to buy it on Amazon right now, that book is $7,000, $7,000+ right now for a single copy of the book. A few years ago, it was listed for $1,000, around $1,500. The price of it has increased as the increase of our knowledge of who we are has been spread throughout the land. As we've continued to wake up, the increase of who we are has gone through the land. The increase of all of these particular books, which highlight who we are, has also taken place. Amos chapter 5 tells us something about this time. I know you've seen the title of this particular live stream, and this title says, "We are in the end. The end is near." The end is near. And I know that that would make some of us very happy because those of us in the truth know that the end of this society, the end of this nasty, devilish regime that is covering the entire face of the earth means that the incoming kingdom of the Most High is about to manifest itself in this realm. But there's something that we read in the book of Amos, chapter 5, that should make us weary of the end. That should make us weary. Not because the kingdom of the Most High isn't something desired, but because we still, even though it looks like we are in the time of the end right now, have a great work in front of us. You see, we can hope right now that we are of the elect. I have to put this disclaimer out. Just because you are a child of Israel, and just because you have heard a form of the truth, doesn't mean that you are going to be ushered into the new kingdom. Okay? Many of our people are going to die during the time of Jacob's trouble and beyond. Jacob's trouble is a time where now that the truth is being spread throughout the four corners of the world and all of the Israelites are waking up to who we are, there's going to be an even greater push by the powers that be in this realm to keep us dumb, to keep us down. And if that means that their placements are going to be threatened, they're willing to fight, they're willing to kill about this. They're willing to kill about this information, y'all. They're willing to keep it down and suppressed so much that they're willing to go to war about this. Okay? This is very important for us to recognize and for us to realize, okay? This is very important. That's why the book of Amos tells us in chapter 5, verse 18, "Woe unto you that desire the day of the Most High." What end is it for you? The day of the Most High is darkness and not light. If a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him, shall not the day of the Most High be darkness and not light, even very dark and no brightness in it? We are moving toward a time when the day of the Most High is going to be the absolutely greatest day that we will see at the end of this society, at the end of this devilish realm, reign in this realm. It's going to be filled with a bunch of travail, a bunch of pain, a bunch of death, a bunch of blood spilling. It's going to be a day of great famine, a day of mighty plagues. And if you as an individual are not ready and prepared spiritually and mentally and physically for that day, then you will be lost even greater. You will be pushed into a place mentally which you will not be able to deal with. This is why we read in the book of Isaiah, chapter 3, that during that time, many people will die and many people will be in a place where they don't know what to do. Many men leaned on their bank accounts and their material wealth, didn't study the word of truth and didn't incorporate skills and trades into their daily walk, will be confused and will be looking to those men who do know these things. Many of our women who were in the truth or not, who had been leaning on the so-called white man and the other nations of the world, who had been leaning on their entertainment and their gadgets and gizmos and falling for the distraction, finally be awakened to the truth and be looking for men of Israel who've been set apart during this time in order to be led and guided through Jacob's trouble. I want to take us to the book of Zechariah. The book of Zechariah tells us something very peculiar. In the book of Zechariah, chapter 13, I want to put emphasis on Zechariah chapter 8 and 9, and then we're going to go into Zechariah chapter 14, verses 1 and 3. But I want to read the chapter of Zechariah real quick. Zechariah chapter 13, verse 1 reads, "In that day there shall be a fountain open to the house of David, and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem for sin and for uncleanness." That fountain is the word, is the water of life, the word. Now more than ever, people, young and old, are recognizing who we are and are cleaving back into the law, statutes, and commands. The law, statutes, and the commands of the Most High are what are going to renew our conscience, renew our minds, renew our hearts toward doing the will of the Most High. Okay? And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Most High of hosts, that I will cut off the names of the idols out of the land, and they shall no more be remembered. We are moving into a time where all of our people from the interiors of Africa, from the shores of South Asia, from the continent of Australia, from the places of the islands of the sea, from the interiors of the Americas, North, Central, and South, all of the Caribbean, all of the places of Europe where we were scattered, are beginning to see the truth. And people ain't dumb. The same people who didn't know who they were are seeing the chastisements of people like Ye, of people like Kyrie, and are asking themselves, wait a second, if this wasn't the truth, why are these people going through, if this was a lie, excuse me, why are these organizations and these people going to such great lengths to suppress what these people are just saying with their freedom of speech? Why is their freedom of speech being attacked like this? When have we ever seen someone get endorsements and suspended without pay for sharing a link? I'm sure Kyrie has shared many links to internationally known music artists right now, trap music artists, drill music artists, rap artists who are continuing the narrative of killing our own and debasement of our own people. But there was never a shout out like that. Yes, Nike kneeled with Kaepernick, but won't stand with Kyrie. They belong to the issues too. Yes, it was okay for us to kneel in the national anthem. But I want y'all to remember, if Kaepernick had got up there and said that we were the true Yahudim while he kneeled, and if he had spoken on the true reason why in Jacob's trouble our men and our women are being shot down by police in the street, having knees knelt on our necks in the street, oh my goodness, he would have been canceled so much sooner. He would have been kicked out. He would have been kicked out. But it wasn't time for that to take place yet. All of these things lead up to the truth of who we are. And the Most High is using the issues in all of the nations and their responses against the truth in order to help wake us up further. Now, if I'm correct, I just got a report that Hebrew to Negroes is the number one on Amazon right now. And if I'm correct, that documentary is on Amazon Prime. It has one of the highest ratings on Amazon Prime. And it is now being watched over and over again, not just by true Yahudim, not just by the children of Israel, but also by the Gentile nations. So you see, they cannot cancel us. They cannot do away with us, and they've never been able to do away with us because the Most High tells us that He will not utterly destroy us. We will be scattered through the four corners of the world for this day, right now. And this is why I started this live stream off saying we live in the most great and most wonderful and most beautiful time ever. But this day is going to be filled with great pain. This day is going to be filled with so much angst, and so much trial, and so much because of the time that we're living in. Let me tell you something. We're going to keep on reading because you see, this day is also going to be filled with so much death and killing. This is why in the book of Amos, why I read, and I'll even go back to the book of Amos again, because I have to read this to you all so you can get an idea. 2/3 of our people are going to be chopped down. Do you realize how great a number that is? Out of the billions of us who have been scattered through the four corners of the world, 2/3 of our people will die. The majority of those people are going to be men. This is why the scriptures tell us in that day, a man of Israel will be like the fine gold of Ophir. The man of Israel who knows who he is and knows who our people is and knows how to lead will be like the fine gold of Ophir. Our women will be killed as well. Many of the twerking on the headlights, stopping at a red light. Many of the women of our culture who refuse to see the truth, who want to cleave on to their oppressor, and continue that false narrative about who we are, they will die as well. This is why your bruh true Jew and others like him, see, even on this live stream, now they have to integrate a pornographic robot into these live streams in order to try to throw us off. As soon as I say our women will be killed as well, 2/3 of our people are going to die. This is why it's so important for me to take full advantage of this time and bring this truth forward to you to the best of my capability. Because this is nothing to play with. Yes, it is disgusting the behaviors being portrayed to cause distractions. But as long as we are distracted, we will continue to see the debasement of our people. But we are also being knocked, the conscience of our being is being knocked upon by the Most High. And blessing to all of us who wake up to the truth. Blessing to all of us who recognize that we have been living and inundated with a lie. Blessings to all of those who take a chance in the truth and begin to walk with the Most High, seek the face of the Most High. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Most High. So what end is it for you? The day of the Most High is darkness and not light. See, before that great and terrible day, all of the people of the earth will know the truth. That is why it shall come to pass in that day. Now we're back in Zechariah chapter 13. Saith the Most High of hosts, that I will cut off the names of the idols out of the land, and they shall no more be remembered. And also I will cause the prophets and the unclean spirit to pass out of the land. And it shall come to pass that when any shall get prophesied, then his father and his mother shall beget him, that beget him shall say unto him, Thou shalt not live. Thou speakest lies in the name of the Most High. and his father and his mother that begat him shall thrust him through when he prophesieth. Because the truth is going out. We read this context in verse 1. In that day there shall be a fountain open to the house of David. There will be people in your family who will not want to know the truth. There will be people in your family, even your own birth mother and birth father, who, even though they are Israelites, have been inundated with the oppressive lies, and they now will either believe the truth or will believe the lie and hold on to the lie. Many of our people who have been inundated with the form of Christianity that has suppressed the truth will call you crazy. Israel, daughter of Zion, will call you crazy for telling them the truth. They will join with the oppressor in seeking to destroy you. Okay? Verse 4 of Zechariah chapter 13. And it shall come to pass in that day that the prophet shall be ashamed, every one of his vision, when he hath prophesied. Neither shall they wear a rough garment to deceive. The day is coming, y'all, when the very prophets of the Most High, you are not strong, you will see what Kyrie and what Ye is going through, and you will be afraid to speak the truth so that you might be canceled, that you might be suppressed, that you might be attacked. But this is nothing to be afraid of. You must speak the truth. You must cry loud and spare not, and show Judah its sins and transgression, so that our people can have a full chance in waking up. Listen. But he shall say, I am no prophet, I am a husbandman, for a man taught me to keep cattle from my youth. Now we are going to have to utilize all of our leadership abilities to not only deal with preparing our homes, preparing our lands, preparing whatever it is in asset form that we have in order to be those leaders that the Most High is calling, but we also have to use those abilities that we've been given to rightly dissect and divide the word of truth so that we can teach the truth to the many of our people who are waking up and also to those Gentile nations who are seeking to know the truth because the Gentile nations will be cleaving to us during the time of the end and will seek to cleave to us, those who understand the truth. Because the Most High is going to use the Gentiles within the kingdom to come as well, as servants, as handmaids, as bondmen and bondwomen in the kingdom to come. Oh, yes. That is why the Gentiles, some of them, will be allowed to live as well through this time. Verse 6 of Zechariah chapter 13. And one shall say unto him, what are these wounds in thine hands? Then he shall answer, those with which I was wounded in the house of my friends. See, we're moving to a time right now where the men of Israel, especially, all around all of the folks, all of the homies, all the partners, and one out of the group is waking up. Two out of the group are waking up and going back to the hood, going back to their partners, saying, hey, y'all, who we really are. And your friends are going to call you crazy. Your friends is going to want to do everything in their power to keep you from sharing that word of truth, calling you an idiot. Look at Kyrie's peers, from Shaquille O'Neal to Charles Barkley to Jalen Rose to all of these people who are attacking Kyrie, who are his former peers or peers now, attacking him for the truth. Okay? Verse 7 of Zechariah chapter 13. Awake, O sword, against my shepherd, and against the man that is my fellow, saith the Most High of hosts. Smite the shepherd, and the sheep shall be scattered, and I will turn my hand upon the little ones. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Most High, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. This is why the book of Amos says, woe unto those who seek the day of the Most High. Because the day of the Most High is going to come with so much pain, so much turmoil, so much. Because the day of the Most High also includes us being gathered up from the 4 corners of the world and being passed under the rod. The rod is the law and statutes and commands of the Most High. We just read about this in verse 1. In that day there shall be a fountain open up to the house of David and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem for sin and for uncleanness. That fountain is the law, statutes, and commands and the rod of the Most High. We will be passed under it. And those of us who want to stay as rebels to the Most High, those of us who want to stay hard headed and stiff necked to the Most High, those of us who want to stay ignorant to the law, statutes, and commands of the Most High, those of us who see everything, see the signs, and still do not want to do what we have been called to do and want to cleave unto the oppressive nature of the devil and the oppressive nature of the Gentile nations who have been suppressing the truth, they will be done away with. They will be killed. They will be destroyed. These are our own people. The mothers, the single mamas with their little ones are going to be destroyed if they don't cleave unto this truth. Our men, single or married, who are falsely guiding and falsely leading our people are going to be destroyed if they don't cleave unto this truth. And it is sad. This is why the Most High said, woe unto those who seek the day of the Most High. Many of us who seek the day of the Most High, I just wish this thing would hurry up and end. Many of these people still have a Christian mind and don't even know who they really are and don't even know who we truly are. They refuse to wake up to the truth. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Most High, two parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. Listen to this next very carefully. Zechariah chapter 13, verse 9 reads, and I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, This is my people. They shall say, the Most High is my God. That third of the people who survive will then be tried, like silver is tried in a furnace, and will be tried like gold. Okay? And those people will be made to be seen that they are worthy of the kingdom. And it is those people who survive who will be left out of all the people of the Israelite stock on the earth, who will be transposed from this kingdom of the devil that was handed to the devil into the kingdom of the Most High. Y'all, this is woo, woo. It gets so complex. That's why we have to layer this thing properly. The first thing that has to happen is the truth must be spread to the four corners of the world. Yahshua told us to go take the gospel of the truth and go unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel, who has been spread to the four corners of the world. Okay? Verse 1 of Zechariah 14. Behold, the day of the Most High cometh, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle. People watching this, please, please listen to your brother Truju. Please, please, please listen. Whether you new to this or whether you've been true to this for many years, please listen. Please listen. The reason that Brother Kyrie is being suppressed right now, the reason that Brother Kanye is being suppressed right now, the reason that many of our channels pertaining to this truth are being shadow banned right now, not popping up in the algorithms, not being shared right now, the reason that many of our people are turning their backs to this truth and acting like they can't hear it, the reason that the nations of the world are pushing so hard to keep this truth suppressed is because one day we will go into a great battle. That battle is Armageddon. That is the battle of all battles. That is the final battle within this spiritual warfare. And that battle will be brought into the light, into the physical realm. Okay? I need y'all to hear me. It is that battle in this spiritual warfare that we are fighting every day that will be brought into the physical realm. And all the nations of the world, all of the Gentile nations of the world who have been conspiring to keep us down are going to be so angry with us finally waking up that they will have to fight us. They will have to fight. They will have to fight. The Most High is going to be on our side, though. This is why when you look into the sky all around you, you see the so-called UFOs, are the chariots of the Most High. And this is why I know the end is near, y'all. I used to be afraid of this when I was a little boy. The reason I used to be afraid of the end is because I thought I still had a whole life ahead of me. I still wanted to make the NBA. I still wanted to make the NFL. I won't do no name dropping, but I have famous cousins in the NFL. I have famous cousins in the NBA. I have famous cousins playing baseball. Okay. I won't do no name dropping right now. Okay. But just know that they're all Israelite men. Okay. That the world knows about. That the world has cheered on and celebrated. Whose autograph they have wanted. Okay. Just know this. And as a little boy watching my cousins play on TV, I knew that I wanted to now take my opportunity to rise and play as well. I had hoop dreams. I'm a hood baby. And I had hoop dreams. Okay. I wanted to play football on the turf like some of my cousins who y'all all have heard of. Okay. This is in our family. This is in our blood to make it to those levels. I wanted to be a world famous boxer. I wanted to fight in the Olympics. But none of that was what I was called to do. Of course, I wanted to be the next Jay-Z. None of that was in the will of the Most High in regards to your brother, True Jew. What was in the will of the Most High was for me to get sat down, was for me to know and learn once and for all who I am and who our people are, and to use all of that strength that I was going to use on that baseball field, that I was going to use on that football field, that I was going to use on that basketball court, that I was going to use in that boxing ring for the oppressor's glory. To use all of that energy that I was going to use on stage for the Capitol Records and the Universal Records, to build them up. I was to use all of that juice for the kingdom of the Most High. But when I was a little boy, I was afraid of the time of the end. Because in my daddy's church, my dad owned a church. He had a church at one time. And in all of the sister churches that I would go visit, I was raised Baptist. Behind the pastor, my dad was a deacon in his church. He wasn't the pastor though. Okay. Our pastor, Pastor Brown. Standing right there behind Pastor Brown on some tiles on the wall, you would see a white Jesus. While Pastor Brown was talking about the return of Jesus coming in on a cloud, that's what we read, the Son of Man coming in on a cloud. All I could think about was that white Jesus. And as I looked behind Pastor Brown and all I could think about was white Jesus, I thought about all of the demise of our people being enslaved on these plantations, being whipped, being lynched, being raped, being separated from ourselves, being sold, being killed, being abused. And for the life of me, I couldn't get over the fear that I had about a white man coming back, calling himself saving me. That must be some kind of white man. But every time they talked about that white man coming back, it was always with death and destruction and killing. That white man coming back in white garments, them garments being turned to blood red, like my shirt right here. Starting off, starting off as white as this paper, but turning red. Blood. All I could think about was all of the hundreds of years that our people went through confused because that was an image that was false. But the image that was written about this Savior and this King talked about a man with brown skin and woolly hair, white like wool. Get that real quick. Revelation chapter 1, because when I was a little boy, Revelation was the first book I read, believe it or not. Because I thought I could go to the back of the book and just hurry up, like it's a fairy tale. You want to just see what the end is like. Oh, me. At 5 years old, y'all, I went to the back of the book thinking it was like a fairy tale. Now I'm seeing all these bloody prophecies take place and all of this stuff happening. And I'm like, whoa! Stuff nightmares are made of. And I went to the back of the book. And you think I closed it? I kept on reading. All praises to the Most High. I kept on reading. I was one of them little boys who would go back to elementary school talking about, hey, have you ever heard of 666? Have you ever heard of the mark of the beast? Yeah, y'all, I think that's going to happen in our lifetime. I think that's going to happen. So enough, look at this, y'all. It's happening. Elon Musk got up there the other day on Halloween. I want y'all to Google Elon Musk Halloween costume for 2022. I want y'all to Google it. It looks like this suit of armor. It looks like something you would see on Star Wars. A suit of armor. And on the front, like the Superman symbol, is a symbol of the Baphomet. A Baphomet goat head. With an upside down crucifix tattooed on its forehead. Elon Musk is just happy rocking that thing. He just so happy. And y'all know Elon Musk is the one who's going to usher in the mark of the beast through that Neuralink. Y'all know Elon Musk's main job is to create SpaceX rockets and SpaceX ships so that they could try to get out of this realm upon the day of the Most High. Yes. But we read in Revelation chapter 14. Actually, let's go, excuse me, Revelation 1, chapter 13. Revelation chapter 1, verse 13, excuse me, y'all. And in the midst of the seven candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with the garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle. The Most High, the day of the Most High comes, and Yahshua Mashiach returns. He's coming with armor. He's coming girdled down with a girdle. He's coming with white garments, y'all. That white garments are going to be turned into the color of blood because of all of the blood shed. Listen carefully. His head and his hair were white like wool, as white as snow. The wisdom of Yahshua. If you look at my beard right now, you will see my beard is wool. It is a woolly texture. This is the only way it could be locked like this. You see that woolly texture. And if you look, even in my youth, right now, my beard is beginning to turn white like wool. I won't dye my beard. I'm not going to color my beard. You see that? It's turning white like wool. Okay? This is so important for y'all to realize. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet were like unto fine brass. What color is brass? Brass is brown, as if they were burned in a furnace. So if brass is brown, what color is burned brass? Burned brass is a dark brown. And his voice as the sound of many waters. Yahshua doesn't talk like this. Hey, everybody, listen to me. Listen to what I got to say. Yahshua doesn't talk like that. Yahshua talks like a man manly man, deep voice, powerful voice. Yes, they showed their escape plan in the movie Elysium. They did, but they're going to fall short. This is why the chariots of the Most High are being positioned in their rank and file all over the world right now, all over the planet. Chariots and angels of the Most High, over 200 million, are in place right now. This is why we know the time of the end is near. All you have to do is look up, as we read in the book of Luke, chapter 21. Let me continue reading Zechariah 14 before it gets too dark out here. Verse 2. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled. See? And the women ravished, and half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. Then shall the Most High go forth and fight against those nations, as when he fought in the day of battle. See, right now, there are inhabitants in the place of Jerusalem right now. There are people who are there right now who are going to want to fight against the Most High. All of a sudden, you're going to see these people of the Gentile nations who claim to be the true Jews, who claim to be the true Yahudim. They are going to be fighting against the Most High, y'all. You understand? They are going to be fighting against us and against the Most High because their lie has now been busted out. Their lie has been busted out. Yes, Queen Sister, I'm touching on it. If you're just now joining us, feel free to share. Okay. What I want you to do is copy and paste the link to this live stream. Share it so you can go back to it now once we end the live stream because YouTube is going to push this through very slowly. Not going to immediately be published. So you need to go and share this now, okay? You don't have to be just copy and paste it. That's what I mean by share it. Because when you share it, the link will be generated and you'll be able to go back to it. Okay? That's the only reason I'm saying share. It's gonna go wherever it needs to go. Okay? It's gonna go wherever it needs to go. But for those of us who are just joining the live stream now, I want you to go ahead on and just share it or copy and paste it and text it to yourself or whatever you have to do so that you can access the link again. Put it in your notes on your phone and then click on the link and you'll be able to come back to it and see the beginning. But I'm sure I touched on everything in the beginning of this live stream for the reason why you wanted to see this live stream right now. Okay, I'm pretty sure I did. So, all praises to the Most High. This is why Brother Kyrie is being canceled. This is why Brother Ye has been canceled because they are telling the truth about who we are. Whether they know the intricacies in the word fully, whether they're well learned in the word, that's of little relevance at this point. It's of little relevance because they are brothers like myself who are well versed in the word, are now standing up and have been standing up, but stand alongside them because they stand alongside us, okay, in telling a truth pertaining to our people. We've been here. This isn't new. And that's what I was saying earlier. The relevance of the timing of this is so important. On that app that I'm on, the Wisdom app, there's so many people who are inquiring about the truth now who might not have ever inquired about the truth. And it's one thing to call yourself a Hebrew Israelite after these events have taken place. But it's another thing to be been walking in this way and in this path when it definitely wasn't being questioned and it wasn't cool. It wasn't the trending topic, you see. I want y'all to go to my other channel, Gatekeepers Ministries. There you will find 27 or so multiple hour long studies regards to who we are. Way back in 2015, I want you to go to my scripture channel where my music is, and you can see studies in audio form. Studies like Are We Saved While We're Physically Alive? Which debunk the idea that all you have to do is go up to your pastor at altar call in your church and have his hand placed on your forehead and say a prayer over you, and then you are saved. That all you have to do is accept Jesus into your life and you are saved. If you accept Yahshua Mashiach and the truth of Yahshua Mashiach into your life, you will be placed into the line of the elect. But once you are placed into the line of the elect, it is like being set on layaway. You know when your mama go into the store and she see that good winter coat that she want to buy for you, but she don't got all the funds yet, and it's still summertime anyway. So that winter coat, it's not even it don't even matter for her to buy it yet. But she knows she want to get that coat for you for the winter, but she still school shopping for you for the fall. What she do? She takes that coat, she elects that coat, she selects that coat, and it has now been elected. But she don't got all the money for it yet. So what does she do? She takes that elected coat and she puts it on the rack, the layaway rack, right? Then she gets her election ticket, right? And she takes that receipt and she puts it in her purse. And she has so much time before that receipt, statute of limitations run out on that receipt before she could go back and buy that coat, right? But the coat has already been elected. It has been set aside. It has been set apart from the rest of the products in that store, and your name is on it. Her name is on it. It is only till she comes back with the full payment that she can now save that coat from being put back in the fire or being put back on the rack. The rack is the fire in this analogy. Okay? Everything set aside as the elect was put on layaway for it to be redeemed at a later time. That is the truth about salvation and pertinence to who we are. As long as we are still in the fire, as long as we have been set apart, but we are still in the store and have not been redeemed yet, we have not been saved. Okay? And this is why a young brother could go into that church, have a hand put on his forehead, say the prayer, and then go outside and be inundated with all sorts. Inundated with all sorts. Yes, Mama Carolyn. All praises to the Most High. Then be inundated with all sorts of sinful nature. And then feel guilty all over again for cussing. Feeling guilty all over again for having to bust that play. Feeling guilty all over again for having to do something just to survive. That seemed to have gone against that salvation. It's because we have not been saved yet. Okay? It's because we have not been saved yet. And everybody in the Israelite community in this country definitely know about some layaway. So that's why I use that analogy. That jacket has been elected for salvation, but until it is redeemed, it has not been saved. Okay? So listen, y'all. I want y'all to understand and understand and understand what we're actually facing right now. I have a strong, strong, strong feeling that 2023 is going to be a year of even further great awakening, but a year where we are moving forward and further into Jacob's trouble. There will be more fighting amongst the nations in regards to who we are, and there'll be more of a rousing up of the spirit of the Israelites worldwide. You can feel it bubbling and gurgling right now. And when those youth get to riding and marching for George Floyd and for Oscar Grant and for all those folks who have been killed by the police, when that same youth culture finally recognizes who we are, when all the rappers and all of the videographers who film these horrible rap videos say enough is enough, and we not filming videos no more about drill culture, we not rapping no more, and that whole society of our youth wakes up to the truth, right? And is willing to march and willing to riot and is actually knowing that we are the Israelite people, that's when you're going to see being taken up by the Gentile nations. That's when you're going to see the final push on what we read in Fahrenheit, the book Fahrenheit. What is that? Fahrenheit 451? What is that? All of the books and freedom of speech are suppressed. That's what we're going to see. You see, the platforms like Twitter are charging now. We're going to see a charge with Facebook. We're going to see the charge. We're going to see the charges of all these social media platforms. Instagram is going to cost. Twitter is going to cost. TikTok is going to cost because now these freedom of speech platforms are going to be used to spread the truth to millions and millions of followers. Okay? I could even see YouTube being charged or being used to be a charging mechanism. And I don't necessarily want to speak that into existence, but what that means is that if they begin to go that route, then we know further that we are closer to the return of the King of Kings. So this is very crucial time that we're living in. I feel like by the time of 2024, by the next so-called presidential election, all of the truth is going to be out on the table. Everything is going to be known once and for all. And I'm still on the fence, y'all, about what's going to happen from 2024 to 2028. I am. Let me give you insight as to why I feel 2028 is going to be the end of the society worldwide as we know it. I have a podcast called The Vibe Way. It was called The Vibe Way with Scipio. I call it The Vibe Way with True Jew now. And I'm going to say this. In 2019, I had known about the Amharic calendar, the Ethiopian calendar for some years. We were dealing with this country 2012, all of the propaganda around 2012, the Mayan calendar, 2012 this, 2012 that. People were making a joke about it. Oh, the world's going to end in 2012. They made a movie about it. 2012, right? There was something that we all felt eerie about that date. We weren't able to put our place on it, especially as indigenously minded people. Those of us who were walking in the truth. Those of us who were cleaving more to the tenets of the Most High. But we didn't understand why all the way. And that's because we were still failing to realize that this country was making fun of the year 2012 based off of the Gregorian calendar. I need y'all to hear me. The Gregorian calendar is at least 8 years ahead of the Ethiopian and Hart calendar, the calendar of our indigenous people in East Africa. I need y'all to listen carefully. The East African calendar is more in line with the Mayan calendar. Okay? Listen carefully. 2019, September 11th, 2019, that was the beginning of the year 2012 in Ethiopia. I did a study on that in 2019, and I released that on my podcast. You can listen on Spotify. It's on Spotify. The Vibe Way with Scipio. And I forget what episode it is, but it's titled 2012. At least I know it has 2012 in the title. Listen to that. I released that in 2019, September 10th or September 11th of 2019, in line with the Ethiopian New Year. I need y'all to hear me. That was before the advent of COVID. COVID was just starting to pick up. It was just a regular little virus. What happened in 2020 of our date? 2020, the world changed like we never seen. Right? The world changed like we never seen. Am I correct? Well, in 2020 of the Gregorian calendar, that was actually 2012 of the Ethiopian calendar, and the world has never been the same since. Why do I say that? The Ethiopian calendar is 8 years behind the Gregorian calendar. Okay? Ever since I was a little boy, I felt like 2020, the year 2020, was going to be the year that everything happened. I felt like leading up to 2020, that's when we would see the mark of the beast. That's when we would see the RFID chips implanted in people's wrists and foreheads. That's when we would see the Antichrist revealing its head. And I'm not talking about the spirit of the Antichrist. I'm talking about the true living embodiment of the spirit of Antichrist. That spirit actually embodied within a physical vessel. I always thought it would be 2020 as a little boy. Now check this out. This is why I say 2028. What's What's 2028? Take away 8 years. 2020. The difference is 2028 in Gregorian time, the Gregorian calendar, 2020 in the Ethiopian calendar. Okay? So what I'm feeling is that in the year 2027, September 11th, 2027, will be the beginning of the year 2020 in Ethiopian calendar. We're going to see stuff that, I mean, it's going to be wild, y'all. By this time, we're all going to be fighting with the Gentile nations. By this time, we're going to know exactly who we are. By this time, all of us in the world are going to see the chariots, the motherships. All of us are going to see the angelic presence that has been here. All of what I'm saying right now, if I'm construed as crazy, by this time, the supernatural presence of both sides, good and evil, is going to be present on the earth in physical, tangible form, and we are going to all be able to see it with our own eyes. So, listen, this is why Brother Kanye, Brother Kyrie must be suppressed and canceled. This is why they must be considered crazy, messed up, for talking how they're talking. This is why they're being punished financially for what they have been sharing with us. But don't worry, they'll have their reward in a righteous manner as long as they stay true. Now, Kanye, he already admitted to selling his soul. I could only go off what he himself has said about himself. Brother Kyrie, I think he's more of a pure heart. And I think he's doing his best to wake up our people. What he knows now as a young 30-year-old brother. Okay? I don't think he sold his soul. At this point, it is up to the Most High to separate the wheat and the tares. Okay? The angels of the Most High will separate the wheat and the tares once and for all. I hope and pray that everyone who joins these live streams are of the wheat and not of the tare. Shabbat Shalom, wherever you are in the land. Right now it's gotten darkened on my side as I watch the sun further into the east, or excuse me, into the west. I still see a slight blue in the horizon. Okay. But the first star has come out. The first of the stars have come out. The moon is now shining behind me. And I know that we have reached the conclusion of today's Shabbat and have begun a new day. But I want to tell you something all before I leave, that I thank each and every one of you for joining me on this journey. And I thank each and every one of you for participating in the chat. I thank each and every one of you for emailing me information that you feel I should discuss. I thank each and every one of you for reaching out to me with kind words. I thank each and every one of you for staying strong and for taking an opportunity and chance to educate yourselves on the truth and to live a righteous and upright and pious life to the best of your ability. I thank you all for giving you a chance to, for giving yourselves a chance to learn the truth. You're very welcome, Queen Sister. You're very welcome. Blessings to you as well, and blessings to your growth, okay? Your spiritual growth. I hope that you all are able to take note, okay? Take note of the chapters and verses that were shared today, of the books that were shared today. Do your own due diligence. Show yourself approved. Okay? Like I like to say, you don't got to take your bruh True Jew's word for it. Hey, if you look right there between the 5 and the 7, there's a little dot next to the 5. Now it's a 6. Welcome to the live stream, family, whoever just joined. That's a 6 right there, right? Right next to it, you see that shiny dot, right? I'm going to put my hand in front of it. Y'all see that? Blocking out next to the 6. That's the moon. That's the moon, y'all. That's the moon. Crazy. So dope. That's really cool. But look, I love y'all to life. It's your bro True Jew tapping in with y'all the only way I know how. Raw, real, and uncut. Y'all have a beautiful night. Share this live stream so that you can access it immediately if you came late. And I'll be talking to you very soon. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Y'all keep your head on a swivel. Stay blessed, stay vigilant. Mama and Papa, I'll be back with another one. But until then, you're welcome, Brother King. Peace and blessings to you always.